How judgy are you? Now, as humans, we're all judgmental and we make hundreds of judgments a day. It's there to keep us safe. It's just part of us. However, when it comes to a particular person or a group, how much does that get in the way of the way that you live your life? Because sometimes it's about what you're thinking. Now, you might be thinking, but Jo, how do I know if I'm judgmental? Well, my first question would be, would you ever say it to their face? And if the answer is no, then that's just an indicator of what we need to do in order to pull it back. So I'd like us to explore the impact it may have on your life of being a judgmental person, your triggers, but also, like always, the top tips in how you can overcome being just that little bit less judgmental. Now, we tend to judge what we can't always necessarily understand sometimes. So whether that is to do with the way that somebody dresses and their fashion sense, or the way that they eat, or the way that they produce this work, or maybe even their culture or religion. Sometimes what happens is that because we don't really want to learn to understand, we just become judgmental. And sometimes what happens, and this one's kind of the worst thing, is that we wear our judgments on our face. And whether that's the way that we pull a face or roll our eyes, sometimes that is when it can be most obvious. And with that, being judgmental has always been there within us because back in our cavemen days, we had to have this sense of judgment because whether that was to keep us alive or to trust other people, that was just the way that it was. So it's not necessarily such a bad thing. It's just that as we've kind of grown up, and certainly in the 21st century, we can be really, really judgy towards other people. So what are our triggers of being so judgmental? Well, it might be because we feel threatened. We feel threatened about who they are, maybe what they represent. And with that can really affect our confidence and our self-esteem. And because of that, it can sometimes make us feel as if we want to make ourselves shine. And by making ourselves shine, we're actually putting that particular person down, whether actually physically or whether it's just mentally in our minds. Also, it might be a sensory reminder that actually that particular person has a quality that reminds you of a hard time or a traumatic time when you've been younger, or even in the here and now. And obviously it goes without saying that we may have this fear that they're going to make us look bad. They might make us feel tricked or trapped. So it's us trying to be in control and take control with the way that we judge them and we feel about them, rather than it being the other way around. So what's the impact? This is big, okay? So actually what it might affect is the way that other people see us. Now, one of the big things for me is that if I hang around with people that are being really judgy and saying comments about other people, I often think to myself, God blimey, what must they think of me? What will they be saying about me when I'm not there? And also what might happen is we just might naturally train our minds to see faults in people. That's not fair. Okay, we get it. We're judgmental, some more than others. But here's some top tips in how you can deal with it. First ones are boring, but there's some quirky ones at the end. Like normal. My first one is that I need you to build up your self-awareness. Naturally, I need you to know when are you doing it? Why are you doing it? And kind of just learn to explore them. Get curious with it. And often what might happen, and we can't always place blame, but let's just explore it. Sometimes what might happen is these beliefs, these judgments that we have are actually from maybe further down the line from other people. It might be family members or maybe when we were little. So it's just about exploring them. Get curious, not furious. My next one, consider expanding your social circle. Now, if you always hang around with the same people, you're always going to kind of have the same opinions and beliefs and kind of just live in that circle. However, it's by getting out there, meeting new people, and kind of just finding out what is it about different people and their opinions and their beliefs and their judgments, but in a way that it is soft and kind and gentle, rather than in an attacking way. It's just being that kind of person that's just trying to get to know other people. Or maybe even learn different things such as culture, religion, food, and just explore. This one's a biggie, okay? And it's something that I swear by. Practice empathy. Now, you've never lived in anybody else's shoes before. You are living your life, and you've never been anywhere further in your future than you are right now, okay? So no matter how old you are, how young you are where you're at the moment. But with that, it's about practicing this ability to really try and understand how it must be for that person. So I don't know, let's go with somebody that's got messy hair. okay? Our judgment might be that they're unhygienic or they don't make an effort. Well, actually, try understanding, try that empathy. You don't know what goes at home. You don't know what goes on at home. You don't know what their circumstances are, or whether money is tight and they can't afford the latest products for shampoo and conditioner. You don't actually know what's going on where maybe they're a young carer and they've got other siblings to look after rather than them actually take time to do their hair. So have that empathy, have that ability to want to understand and seek to understand rather than be understood. Next one, show self-compassion. Don't be angry with yourself because you're so judgmental and no. You're doing something about it, and that's a good thing. Be accepting. We've all got our own faults. You have too, whether you like it or not. But with that, it's just about recognising and understanding people's faults rather than just the blame game. And my last one, be willing to learn. Be willing to learn from people. We're not going to know it all, no matter how young or old you are. And even though this channel is mainly for young people, it's about realising that if we can learn these skills right now, then that's what's going to help it for us. Another one, just throwing it out there, is when you are being judgmental, catch that thought, catch that judgment, and then can you replace it? Replace it with a positive thing about that person. It might not necessarily be to do with what your judgment is, but it might be, I don't know, the judgments about their schoolwork, how maybe they're not quite as clever as other people. Okay, caught it, but replace it. Replace it with, they're actually really kind, or actually they're really friendly. You know, so it's just about catching it and replacing it, that thought. You can do it. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there. I love doing this channel, and thank you so much for your support, and keep going. We're 4.5 years. I looked back at the old videos a couple of weeks ago, and I've updated each of the description box. And oh my gosh, when you look at my old videos, which obviously you might do now, but don't, because honestly, and there's part of me that really wants to delete them. I really want to delete them. They are cringeworthy. So if you do watch any of the old ones, which you might do now because I've said it, but with that, can you please just remind yourself of how far I've come? But guess what? I'm the one who's learned this. I'm the one who's taught myself this. And now I've been going for such a long time. I've got the support from Google and YouTube Health and some amazing other content creators. So it just goes to show that anything is possible. Right, I'll see you later, guys. Take care. Bye.